Welcome back to Good Morning San Diego. Scripps Health and Anthem Blue Cross have parted ways, affecting potentially 125,000 San Diego patients. Joining us now for more on the split and what it will mean for patients is insurance expert Craig Gussin. Craig, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning.
This is, I think, pretty upsetting for people that are on the Anthem Blue Cross program with Scripps, and certainly very upsetting for people who are dealing with a life-threatening illness. And, you know, we're having major operations or continuum of care planned in the new year.
No, I'm with you 100%. My phone has been ringing off the hook for the last 2-3 weeks. Now, going into this, first thing I'm going to say is, I've been a Scripps member for over 30 years, so, and I'm also in the insurance industry, so I'm on both sides of this, and I get it. The first thing that everybody wants to know, this only affects group health insurance with Blue Cross and Scripps and individual. It doesn't affect Medicare. It doesn't affect Blue Shield, because I've had questions about that.
Right.
It doesn't affect if you have a prescription plan with Blue Cross. So, it's been going back and forth. The big question is, what do I do? And literally, I've had questions every day. I had a client call me yesterday and say, okay, I have a daughter with some health issues. We're in the part where we're having continuation. And, you know, Anthem has this continuity of care request form that you're using that you fill out and basically say, look, I'm in the middle of treatment. You can continue to see your Scripps doctor under Blue Cross. If you leave Blue Cross and go somewhere else, then you're not going to have that. But if you stay with Blue Cross, you'll be able to continue that. Because the question I asked Blue Cross was, what happened if I'm going through chemo? And they said, we're going to continue to cover that.
So you need to get access to a continuum of care form on the Anthem Blue Cross website. They're available. Fill those out. Talk to your doctor, especially if you are dealing with something as serious as continuing chemo treatments for cancer.
Exactly.
Now, for regular PPO patients, they can still see their Scripps doctors, but they will have to pay more out of pocket. HMO clients, you're completely out of access to your Scripps doctors.
And I'm telling all my clients, because I'm getting, I mean, literally all day yesterday I've been on the phone. It was nothing but answering these questions. And I'm saying, let's wait until mid-January to see what happens. I'm hoping they, you know, they negotiate and get it done. Because I can tell you what I've heard from my sources is that they've also been negotiating with other insurance companies, and they've been delaying those negotiations because they want to get Blue Cross done first. And then they're going to go probably to Blue Shield, United Healthcare, Aetna.
Great.
So they're going through all of those. And my question is, why are they waiting? And what happens if Blue Cross says, we're not going to agree to these increases, then we're going to walk away? Is every other insurance company going to do the same thing? And then what happens to Scripps? I mean, that's a big problem I look at personally. So I'm thinking that they got to come to the table. They got to figure out something that make it work for Scripps so they can pay their bills, and also that we're not going to see big increases from Blue Cross because of all the expenses, you know, increased expenses they have.
So some people are sitting at home going, okay, is this pure corporate greed by both sides? Is one side at fault? Is this because of recent strikes with different medical groups? What do you think is behind this lack of coming to an agreement? Because they're both posting some big numbers as far as profits.
They are. They're both big companies. From what I read, the average insurance company gets about a 2% profit margin. I've read that Scripps is at 4%. Don't know. Others have said it's not that high, but who knows? I don't know what the answer is. This one is surprising to me because I heard 3 weeks ago that it was almost going to be done. So now we're January, what are we, second? Third. The third. And we're still having these, and I don't get it. I don't think it's greed. I think it's honestly, Blue Cross is looking at their budget and saying, what can we really afford without affecting the cost of health insurance in 2026 or 2025? I think Scripps is looking at it and going, you know, we need to have more money. You know, part of my wonder is, last year at this time, you and I were talking about, you know, the Medicare Advantage plans and how Scripps said we're not taking them anymore. Now this year we're talking about this. And I'm wondering what's going on at Scripps.
Yeah.
And I don't want to paint a bad picture, but I also know that when I go to the doctor at Scripps, I notice at the time I get with the doctor is less and less. So I'm looking at all this, and I'm wondering what's going on. And I don't know all the answers. I'm really hoping the negotiation go better. But one of the things I look at is I look at Sharp, I look at Kaiser. And, you know, Trump administration has come out with the Department of Government Efficiency. And I think we need to have healthcare be more efficient. I think when you look at Kaiser and Sharp, you're seeing that because their rates for health insurance are a lot less, even though it's a little bit different than the Scripps situation. But I think that's the thing that I'm looking at personally is how can we all be more efficient? Even in my business, what can we do to be more efficient and, you know, and not pay as much money? I mean, I look at my world differently now. It's like we don't order paper that much because nothing's on fax, everything is emails. So I think as a whole we have to be more efficient. But the big key is that everybody like you who's a mom going, what do I do with my kids when my kids get sick? And I think right now your choices are this. You can stay with Blue Cross if you have it, and you can change a doctor to a non-Scripps doctor. You can take Blue Cross, you can leave Blue Cross and keep Scripps. Now, if you have Cover California, or you have a plan outside of Cover California, it's individuals, you can change the Blue Shield or Health Net in January, have a February 1 effective date, and keep your Scripps doctor. However, what's going to happen in 2, 3, 4 months from now when they're having the same discussion with that health insurance company? Right. So if you have a health issue and it's an individual plan, yes, you have the option to change. If you're in a group plan, like you guys at KUSI, and let's say hypothetically you had Blue Cross, you can't change if you have a PPO, you could go outside Scripps, but you can't change your plan to a point where you can go see a Scripps doctor unless the whole company changes plans. I've heard people say this is a qualifying event where we can do this. The answer is no, it isn't.
Okay.
So there's a lot going on. Reach out to your health insurance agent. Let us help you, give you ideas for your particular situation, because no one situation is the same.
Right. Well, Craig, thank you so much for the information.
My pleasure.
Really helpful to a lot of the patients that are struggling right now. Appreciate it.
Oh, I get it.